Juan Sebastian Chamorro in Managua. Welcome to Hard Talk. Welcome to Hard Talk.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for having me on your program.
It looks as though those protests have run out of steam. Would you agree?
I would not agree. I think this is a process that is going to take time.
Number one, you use the language of Ortega being a dictator, and in the recent past you've compared him directly with Anastasio Somoza, of course, the infamous dictator who was toppled in 1979 in Nicaragua. Of course, there is a fundamental difference. Daniel Ortega wins elections. He last won a thumping great majority in 2016. So this is an elected president. He is not a Somoza-style dictator.
Well, that is true if you believe that the electoral results were
In recent months, we've also seen protesters using arms and homemade mortars against government forces, which does rather question what is happening on the streets, whether this is simply a question of civilian protesters or actually a militarized opposition.
No, there has been people from all walks of life, workers, business leaders, peasants, students, who are putting barricades on the streets of Managua and other cities to defend.
Well, on the 13th of July, for example, in a commune, Morito, in Nicaragua, we had clashes in which 4 police officers were killed and just 1 protester. And this is figures coming from the Nicaraguan Center for Human Rights. So, you know, it is clear.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You know, you're an established economist. You're a leader of the Civic Alliance. You come from an elite family, a very respected, comfortable background in Nicaragua, but many of the people you've been encouraging to take to the streets are students, they're poorer people, people worried about their social security benefits, and they are the ones who are in the line of fire, and yet you keep telling them to keep up the street protests, to keep up the street action. Do you think that is really a responsible position for you to take, given what is happening on the streets?
Absolutely it is. That's the only reason and the only way that we can put pressure on the people on the streets. I myself have been on the streets. I was in the streets yesterday.
Final round. Fight.
Well, you keep saying the Nicaraguan people as though they're united behind your demands, but of course they're not. You know, we all see the demonstrations mounted by the Sandinistas, the tens of thousands of people waving the Sandinista flags, talking about the achievements of Ortega. After all, you've had 4% annual economic growth for several years. You have actually the least crime-ridden, the most stable society in Central America. Compared with some of your neighbors, Nicaragua has been a relative success in recent years, and Daniel Ortega has made a point of working with the business community. You put all of that together, and actually Ortega's achievements are not inconsiderable. And many people in Nicaragua think that he's better stay in power rather than have you guys muck things up.
Fatality!